What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Welcome back to another episode of Player Ratings. Tottenham Hotspur 4, Burnley 0 in a brilliant performance at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham back to winning ways, but let's just pause for a bit because, yes, it was a great performance. Yes, it was a great result, but we need to kick on from here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It means nothing if we don't show consistency in the next games, and we can't talk about being back in a top 4 race unless we go and beat Fulham and then go and beat Palace. We need to get this run of results. One win doesn't put you back in the race. It's a run of results that gets you back in the race. So, if we lose against Fulham, we're back out of it. So it doesn't mean anything right now. But great performance, great starting block, and we just have to kick on from here.
All right, let's start off with the player ratings. Let's go to Hugo Lloris. We gave him a 6. There was a couple of routine saves in there, more or less straight at him, but he was never really tested. And we seem to say this a lot about Hugo Lloris over the course of the season. Maybe not a lot too recently, but I think that he dealt with everything he came across, but not much there in it, really.
Yeah, got his 100th clean sheet in the Spurs shirt. Well, apparently the 9th fastest keeper to do that in Premier League history, and to get to 100 clean sheets, so not too bad. But look, what he did okay. Didn't have too much to do. Well, pretty much hung on to every shot. Wasn't parrying anything. So pretty simple display for him.
Yeah. Let's move on to Serge Aurier. We gave him a 7, and it was great to see him back in the team. It really was. I thought he provided a good outlet on that right-hand side. I thought defensively he was pretty flawless, to be honest. And good display from Serge.
He dealt with Dwight McNeil really well, which is Burnley's biggest threat. And I felt like attacking wise, he went forward a few times, but we never really saw him getting crosses in the box and things like that, which we know Serge can really do on a consistent basis. But I thought overall, good display when his first display back from injury, and wasn't the best we've seen of Serge this season, but I thought pretty good.
Yeah. Let's move on to Davinson Sanchez. We've given him a 9, our biggest rating we've given Davinson Sanchez this season. Look, let's be honest about Davinson yesterday. I thought he was really good, and he did kind of save. I think there was 2 or 3 challenges in there, goal-saving challenges, really good. I thought it was commanding in the air. I thought his distribution, he kept it simple and was just playing the simple passes, which I really liked about his performances. No mishaps in there, but it was like the Burnley second or third choice front line, and it didn't really bother him too much.
Yeah, Vidra and Rodriguez are probably the perfect kind of opponents for someone like Davinson Sanchez. No one too technical or too strong, so you can kind of deal with both aspects there. But to be fair, you got to be able to do that job, and he did it perfectly. He completely dominated them. He bullied them, and as you say, his passing, he wasn't going for long raking passes. Just kept it simple into midfield, into Ndombele or into Toby, and let them do the good work. And but other than that, yeah, look, he had a great display, and I hope he can build on that and build some confidence, because his confidence has really been shot of late. You can see that with some of the mistakes he's been making, some really inexcusable ones. But if he can build on that performance, maybe he can have a big role to play from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, obviously one performance doesn't make your season. He's been pretty dire. No pun intended. He's been pretty dire pretty much the whole season and past couple of seasons. But if he can put in more displays like that, it should build his confidence. But jury remains firmly still out with Davinson Sanchez. Let's move on to Toby Alderweireld. We gave him an 8. Well, it says 7 on there, but we've given him an 8. Toby, good performance, defensively solid, and I thought the way he was pinging the ball around pretty much all game was absolutely superb. Starting attacks from the back, and this is exactly what we like to see from Toby Alderweireld. In my opinion, our best centre-back, and he showed what he's all about yesterday as well.
Yeah, and he actually looked a lot more comfortable on the left-hand side of the centre-back of the partnership than he usually does. Usually he looks a lot more comfortable on the right, but he got his passing range on point a lot of the time, finding Son, finding Bale, Kane, and Lucas many times with his long-range passing, and it was good to see. And I think he helped Davinson through the game as well, and they struck up a decent partnership together. But yet again, wasn't the biggest of tests against that Burnley front line. So remains to be seen how they perform when it's the better opposition.
Let's move on to Sergio Reguilon. We gave him an 8 as well. Reguilon, it's such a breath of fresh air to have him back on the left-hand side and performing like he did yesterday. He was getting up and down, literally didn't stop running the whole game. So good to have him back, and that assist just topped it all off, because I thought it was brilliant, that assist.
Yeah, good assist, and he was also involved in the 4th goal as well, linking up really well with Son to free up Bale, who scored. I thought he was getting. I thought it wasn't just his outlet on the left-hand side. I thought he was doing really well in the passing aspect of the game when we were doing quick passing and interchanges. He's more than happy to go short and play football, just as he is to hit the byline and stretch the defence. So, yeah, really great to have that dual full-back threat of Aurier and Reguilon back in the team. And it's always good to have a Reguilon in the team.
Let's move on to Le General, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. We gave him a 7. I thought he kept it tidy in the middle there. He was combative. I think that his partnership with Tanguy Ndombele is really starting to flourish now, and they're really learning each other's games, moving for each other, helping each other. I think 5 recoveries there. I think he won most of his duels as well. It wasn't his best display, but I still think very good there for Pierre.
Yeah, I think quieter than usual, but sometimes for a player in his role, when you're quiet and when you're not seen, sometimes that's when your best work can be done, I feel. And it was good. I think he didn't have to be overworked, and he didn't have to be all action. He had control over the midfield. We had control in the midfield without him looking like he's covering every blade of grass, which is exactly where we want to be. And I agree with you that partnership with Ndombele really is flourishing at the moment. And let's move on to Tanguy.
Yeah, Tanguy Ndombele, we gave him a 7 as well. It wasn't like the usual Tanguy that we've seen where he gets the ball, he's beating 2 or 3 men every time. I felt he kept it a bit more simple. Short passes, pass and move, helping out a defence, helping out an attack. And it was his back heel that started one of the moves for, was it the fourth goal?
Brilliant
back heel.
Pass,
so,
yeah.
I mean, that was the kind of most adventurous he did throughout the game. But he kept it simple. Like I said, for Hojbjerg, the partnership's starting to work really well, starting to flourish. And both of them can start attacks, both of them can defend. And Ndombele, he's just lasting until the end of the game.
Yeah, I think he was finding some really good passes actually into space between the space between the midfield and the back four for Burnley, where Kane was dropping deep and Son and Bale were, and he was continually finding them in space, and they'll find it really hard to pick them up. And I remember early on there was that one shot where Kane just hits it wide through the legs of Tarkowski just past the post, and it was because Ndombele finds him in that space, and he's able to drive forward onto the back four, and in between that space, and they don't know whether the midfield or the defence to pick him up. So I think Ndombele has added a new level to our team and unlocked a lot of potential with him being in the centre. We've looked so much better on the ball. We've had a lot more control of the ball since Ndombele's been there, and it's been really, really great. And I'm just looking forward to that continuing.
Yeah. Which moves us on to Heung-min Son. We've given him a 9. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant performance from Sonny. I think it was his best performance actually in the last couple of weeks. In the last month, I think for sure. He was at his creative best on yesterday in the game. He created seven goal-scoring chances, which is the most out of anyone in a Tottenham shirt since Christian Eriksen against Chelsea at Wembley, I think it was that day. So you got to say, Sonny, he got 2 assists, but could have got a lot more if some of our other players did have their shooting boots on a bit more. Look, Sonny was everywhere. He was running for the team. He had 2 chances as well. One, he fluffed his lines, and the other one forced Nick Pope into a really good save. I'm really liking the performance from Sonny yesterday, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I thought he's really taken this creative burden a bit more on his shoulders, because he's starting to get more and more assists. He got, I think, 3 against Everton, and he got 2 against Burnley yesterday. And I thought he was really at his creative best. Obviously, got the one in the first minute for Bale. Actually, assisted Bale for both of them. 2 really good assists.
The second one was class with the outside of the boot.
Yeah, really right onto Bale's foot as well. Barely had to break stride, and just one touch and shoot. Some people saying he mishit the first one, but I think he meant to do that low ball into the box where Bale taps it home. I thought it was a really good pass. He unlucky right in the last minute when he tees up Harry Kane for a tap in and he fluffed it. Also really unlucky where Pope makes a wonderful save at the far post, one-handed, just tips it round the post where he could have got another goal, Sonny. So I think he's looking a lot sharper. He looked a lot sharper than he had in recent weeks, and 8 assists now for the season, catching up on Kane's 11. So really is taking that creative burden on his shoulders.
All right, let's move on to Lucas Moura. We gave him an 8 as well. He's starting to contribute. That's 3 goals in his last 4 games from Lucas Moura, 2 back-to-back Premier League goals from Lucas Moura. In this game, I thought he was a threat throughout the game, playing in that number 10 role, which I think suits him a lot more than it is on the wing. Because when he's on the wing, he can run down some blind alleys and not know where he's going sometimes. But when he's in the centre, he's just reaping havoc throughout the whole team. He's doing those kind of darting runs into the middle of the box. There was one earlier on in the game when he took it past a player in the box with a lovely skill. And,
beautiful.
And that shot was just saved by Nick Pope, and then he got it again and managed to get the ball in the back of the net. I'm really liking the performances from Lucas Moura, and now we've got him, Bale and Lamela all starting to perform really well.
Yeah, it was a really good finish on his left foot. It was quick thinking as well. One touch and bang, right into the corner. Had to be sharp, had to be clinical there, and he was. And I agree with you. I think in the centre with his dribbling ability, the defense, like, you can't leave him one against one, so it just naturally means defenders have to come over to him, because if you leave him 1 against 1, he can absolutely skin you alive because of his dribbling ability, and that leaves spaces for the other attackers. For example, for the fourth goal, you see Lucas Moura's running through the centre and he's dragging 2 defenders with him, and that leaves all that space for Gareth Bale to run into on the right hand side, and that was a massive help. And I agree. I think last few games he's been really good. Had a really good performance, I thought, against West Ham, where he got a goal and was probably one of our biggest threats. And had that great goal against Wolfsberger in the first leg of the Europa League. Really good dribbling ability and scoring a goal. And another good goal yesterday. So hopefully this form can continue. And I feel like his running and his legs helps compensate for like Bale as well. I know Bale did a lot of tracking back and defending, but when you got Lucas there as well helping out, he can cover a lot of ground, Lucas, with his legs. So that also helps. All right, and now let's get on to the man of the moment, Gareth Bale. We gave him a big fat 10 on the pitch for 70 minutes, and what a 70 minutes it was. 2 goals, 1 assist, could have created a lot more as well. His pings over the top, his passing range is absolutely insane, and that was encapsulated by that assist to Harry Kane. I mean, what an assist. I mean, so deep onto the pitch in his own half, lofted through ball all the way to Harry Kane, and then Harry Kane finished the job and does what Harry Kane does. But apart from that, his finish for the second goal was just absolutely insane as well. Pure Gareth Bale fashion. It was like his goal against Wolfsberger, but I felt it was even better than his goal against Wolfsberger. Open proceedings after the first minute. You don't get goals much easier than that, to be honest, but Heung-min Son put it on a plate for him. He has to make that run.
Yeah, he's got to make the run. So I thought Gareth Bale, apart from the 2 goals and assists, I thought he was working really hard for the team throughout the game. I just really hope we can get him on the pitch more often, really. Yeah, he was scintillating yesterday. It was definitely his best performance by far since he's come back to Spurs, and it was really great to see him in that kind of form. The way he was so confident on the ball, a few moments he's just running past the fullback like he's burning past him and setting up chances. He's not just burning past him and then passing it off. He's continuing his run and helping the attack. His 2 goals obviously were there to see. First one was a poacher's effort, but he has to make that run from right to left, which he did exactly the same against Wickham, where Lucas Moura found him. This time it was Sonny, so he's clearly been practicing that. His second goal was a thing of beauty, cutting inside and effortlessly smashing it into the corner, where you know where it's going. As soon as he cuts inside, if his shot's not blocked, it's finding the corner. Exactly what happened. That pass for Kane's goal was absolutely sensational, like De Bruyne, Pirlo-esque, like on his left foot right onto Kane's foot, and he barely had to break stride. It was also a very good touch by Kane though for the goal, but we'll get onto that. But it just wasn't just the goals and the assists, it's also just his general play. He's tracking back, he's defending, he's making tackles, he's dribbling past players, he's just looking at his fittest, at his best, and it was absolutely really encouraging from Bale. And when he took it past Charlie Taylor on the right wing, it was a bit of nostalgia for everyone, because it seemed like it was a Taxi for Maicon all over again. Yeah, he couldn't deal with him, Charlie Taylor, and he showed he's still got his pace about him, he's still got that quality, and if we can get him performing like that more regularly, then that front three really is fearsome. All right, and last but not least in the starting 11, Harry Kane. We gave him a 9, an 8. I thought we gave him an 8. Yeah, I think we gave him an 8. All right, Harry Kane, we gave him an 8. It says 9 on the screen, but don't worry about that. We did give him an 8. I thought Kane was a tiny bit wasteful at times yesterday, but he did get that goal with a brilliant finish, roof of the net. I thought he was putting himself about, dropping deep. He was everywhere on the pitch. Did he get an assist yesterday? He didn't get an assist.
Didn't get an assist, no.
But I do think Kane was good. It wasn't his best performance, let's be honest, but he was putting himself about and he was everywhere and helping out his teammates.
Yeah, he'll be annoyed he didn't get more than a goal because obviously it was a good run and a good touch and a good shot, which got obviously a bit of luck with the deflection and into the back of the net over Nick Pope. But he'll be disappointed in a few chances that went astray, especially one right at the end where on the counter-attack Son puts it on a plate for him and he completely scuffed it. He completely scuffed it and he knows that should have been a goal. He had a few moments in the first half as well where he drags the shot just a bit wide and forcing Pope into a save. But I thought he, in general, I think him and the team together, that front three linked up so well. And I thought he was a massive part of that. I think obviously he showed off his passing range time and time again. He was finding Bale and he was finding Son. And he played Son for on goal as well a couple of times. So I think he was still there and he was dropping deep and finding those pockets, which was really hard to pick up. So I thought it was a good display.
At moments, the way we were going forward with Bale, Kane, Son and that one-touch passing.
And Lucas as well.
And Lucas, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
All of them were linking up with each other so well.
Played some really nice football at times again, just like we said we played in like against West Ham and against Everton and West Brom. So recently we have been playing a lot nicer football, a lot easier on the eye, and I thought we were at our counter-attacking clinical best yesterday, and Kane I thought contributed well to that.
Yeah, completely agree. We're not going to give ratings to the substitutes because they weren't on for long enough, but let's start off. Dele Alli came on at 66th minute for Lucas Moura. I thought it was a positive display from Dele.
Yeah, I thought he contributed more off the ball than on the ball.
Yeah,
didn't have too much joy in the final third, but I thought he came on and he tried hard, and I thought he was okay. Nothing too much to note about Dele.
But it wasn't that lethargic display from Dele Alli. I thought he actually wanted it yesterday, and it looked like he was on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Eric Lamela came on for Bale, but there was not much in it for Lamela, was there?
Yeah, it was already 4-0. The game was pretty dead, wasn't it? So, but I thought he did okay. But we seem to be taking it easy for the last half an hour, 4-0 up, and we didn't seem to go forward that much.
And then Matt Doherty came on for Aurier with 9 minutes to go.
Yeah.
But we didn't see much of him either.
No.
And then Jose Mourinho, what are we giving him?
Yeah, I think we have to give an 8 at least, because I think he goes with an attacking lineup. I think he's persisting with Ndombele and Hojbjerg in the centre, which is positive. And he's getting Lucas in form. Bale has managed Bale pretty well. And you got to say as well, continuing with Davinson Sanchez would have been very easy to drop him again and put Dyer in. But he didn't. He's put trust in him, and I thought that paid off with a good display yesterday from Davinson. So I think yesterday he picked the right team. We played good football, got the right result, and no complaints for Jose. Giving
Jose credit for the way he's managed Bale so far.
Yeah, it's difficult to know because whether he should have played him earlier or not. But I would say the performances we saw from Bale earlier was nothing like we're seeing now. So maybe. This was the right thing to do, manage him in this way. And if it's the case where he's had to manage him up to this point to get him to the level he's at now, then it's probably worth it.
Yeah. All right, so that is it. That is our player ratings for the brilliant 4-0 win against Burnley at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday. Let me know your player ratings in the comment section below if you would disagree with ours. Our next live stream for the next game is Fulham, 4th of March, Thursday night at the at Craven Cottage. So join us for the live watch along and the post-match fan show, as well as all the pre-match stuff that is coming out for you this week. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.